Alright guys, so here is what the challenge was all about, and I will explain to you guys why I bought these, my thought process. Let me put this on mute, but this is what you call a Mega Mini Claw Machine. It will start playing music here in a second, no doubt, but when it does, I'll try to turn it off. This is a claw machine like you grew up with. I'm sure anybody who's watching this is probably old enough to remember when they had the big claws, and you see them all the time. But these are mini claws, and so I don't think it's going to play right now. But the cool thing about them is so they have this function where it says find a key to win the mega prize. And so what you do is you can put them in like an egg, like an Easter egg, and I'll show you guys. Hold on one second. I'm gonna have to put the phone here. So you hide a bunch of Easter eggs. And there's the music. Oh shoot. There's the music. Alright guys, so I'll show you how this works. Get this red key out. Red key goes in here. This is where the coin mech is. People can take coins, and you look in here. So you can see this one's not been used much, 10 times. These counters show like how many times, and you can reset that in between servicing them. You hit this red button right there. Alright, and the red button goes up here, and you'll see basic settings, 4 coins, so they usually cost $1, and you get 1 play. Bonus, how long the time, usually time's like 30 seconds. This just means how much you how long you get to play. And then we're gonna go to music here, and if we can find it. Alright, I'm gonna put that on mute. Hopefully, let's put the volume just to ensure that it's not gonna. Alright, I just wanted to be able to talk. But alright, I'll go show you guys here. As you know, these games are essentially, you're able to rig it. So if you ever played a claw machine and you're like, oh man, I was so close. So this is a PR means probability. So this is like 10 out of 1. I wouldn't run it this high. I would run it lower than that. But I will show you guys. So you can set it to how often. The probability means basically is how often you want somebody to win. The parameters, I'll show you guys this. So let me see. This is what they call a strong call. So imagine when the call's going down, it's reaching for a toy. See that? That's the strong call. Now this is the weak call. That's what you most of the time you get. And I can set that call. I'll show you guys. Now it's gonna be weaker. Watch. Look, it won't hardly even move. Let's go up a little bit. Move. See how it's barely moving? Oh, so let's go to like 18 volts. So 18 volts it will close. Barely. So let's go to 17. Oh, see how slow it is? And then compare that again to the strong one. So you can catch a mouse with that thing. And you can make it stronger. So like, it's 40 volts when I was doing it earlier. Let's look at like, as high as it'll go. Let's see what that is. 48 volts. So anyway, back to it. Close that up. So you'll have something up the top here. It says mini call, blah blah blah, just an advertisement. But if you win the egg in here, find a key. If you find the key, this is the key, and you stick it in here, and there'll be a prize up here that'll be worth more than what's normally in here. What I'll show you here in a second, the normal prizes. So you have something up here, and this opens it up. So you get if you win the key, you get the big prize. And now I know what you're thinking is like, well, the key in here, how's that going to work? You know, they could just come back and get the big prize every time. So the key, once it goes in here, it stays in. So I cannot remove this key. Now it's unlocked, but they've already took the prize, so there's nothing to be got. But I have this key that goes in like this, and I'm trying to be a good camera guy, but it comes out. So you can see, let me see if I can show you. It's nighttime when I'm doing this, so we ain't got a lot of light. I'm trying to do this with, but you'll see the key comes out. So then I would put a new prize in here, in there, and then I would lock it back up. And they're somewhere in here, I don't know where, but they're a blue keys. Red key might work on it. I don't think it does. No. I think you can just actually you just set it like. I guess it's locked right now. I already took it back. Yeah, it's locked. So you can see the lock in there. So that's basically how it works. I'm gonna go ahead and put the key back in here so I don't lose it. And I'll go ahead and show you guys. See what else I can show you. So again, this is the Coin Mech, and this red key here, it works all that. So Coin Mech, that's where you put in the quarters if you want to play. Here's where we win the prize. You get your prize out. That's always going. It's pretty cool. At like, and this is dollar bill acceptor, so you can put dollar bills. And they've got, this is the thing that goes on top where I said it's like a big sign. But imagine that not being in there right now. This is where the dollar bills go. So it comes out of here, feeds into there. And then this is where the quarters go into. So it's pretty simple. And you can put additional locks on this if you want to. Depends on your location, if you think you're going to deal with stealing. So, and I'll show you guys, I have some images of when this showed up. But I have bought 10 of these, and I'll tell you why I bought 10. So, one flaw of vending, I think, personally, is, and a lot of people say, well, don't buy too many machines. Don't buy too many machines because they're just sitting in their garage and they're not making any money. And it's like, okay, but let me give you the math behind it. So you can buy one machine like this one, very similar, from a United States guy. They're all coming from China, mind you. You can buy this one, a machine of similar quality with a dollar bill acceptor and that. Now you can add credit card readers to this, and that'll bump your price up. But if you're just buying dollar bill, Coin Mech, regular mini like this, mega mini machine like this, I think if you're buying it from America, shipped to your house, one machine, you're looking at like $1,400, $1,500, $1,400 to $1,600 probably to your door. Okay, so a lot of times that's what people do. So they go to the most reputable manufacturer. They buy this one. They're like, okay, I'm going to spend $1,500. I'm going to get this in one location. I'm going to be making money. The problem with that is you can't scale in regards to your prizes. It's hard, and I'll explain that in the second part of this video. But you can't, it's hard to scale. And so The problem is like, imagine like you're a guy just getting started. You buy 3. Let's just say they're 3 machines is $4,000 total, which is probably very, very. That's a very good ballpark number. So let's say you went on a limb. You didn't buy 1, you bought 3. You got 3 for $4,000. These machines cost me from China, I think it was $420 a piece. If you bought 10, you can't buy 1 or 2 from China. The shipping's going to be too much, right? So I bought 10 for $410. I think $420, something like that. And then it was roughly $2,000 for shipping. So it ends up being like roughly $620. I think I could be wrong. I need to go back on. It's anywhere from like $600 to $620. So they ended up, it's like $600, $620 a piece. So I bought 10 at one time. You can see that's 4, 5. Those are not counting back there. 6, 7, 8, 9. And then I got 1 on location. I got 3 more back there. That's older ones that I bought off Facebook Marketplace. So, that's it. So we got these claw machines. So why would I buy this? Why would I waste my money? The good thing I like about these machines is they're easier to locate in a restaurant. And so like this example, like if you have just like they're roughly 13 by 13. And so if you just got like a little foot niche in like a restaurant, a little corner or something, you can sell them on, hey, let me put this machine in here. Whereas if you guys are like me and you're close to 40 or above, you're thinking about the big machines that are like 4x4, 3x3. This machine, you get to play the same amount. I don't have to have smaller toys in it because the claw's not as big, but it's the same amount of fun. And for me, it's the same price. It's $1 per play. So the good thing about these machines is why would I want to do this? I've never been in vending before. I want a cash business. So of course, cash has many benefits. A cash business does, and I'll let you guys imagine why a cash business would be profitable or desirable. But you can put credit card readers on these, and eventually I may. But the problem with credit card readers is they charge per month plus per transaction. I don't mind paying per transaction, but if I'm gonna have to pay like per month, I would rather buy like say 10 readers at a time. But before I buy 10 readers at a time and I'm paying a monthly charge on each machine, each reader, I would rather go ahead and put them in location. I don't want to buy 10 credit card readers for $200-$300 a piece, whatever that may be, and then I'm paying $10 a month. I forgot whatever, $10-$20 a month for a credit card reader, and they're sitting in my basement like they are now. So I'm not doing any credit card readers until I have like at least 10 locations, and then I still may not. I'm leaning towards not. Most people, in my opinion, have $1 or have quarters. Yeah, parents are going to say sometimes, oh, I don't have quarters, and you're going to miss out rather than a debit card or a credit card transaction, and that's fine. But my gut tells me you're not going to miss out on much. A lot of people says you do miss out on a lot of revenue, but I'm wondering how much of that revenue from credit cards just take away some dollars or coins. So I got 10 locations. 10 machines. I got to get them all on location. They're brand new. This is what the whole flip transaction was. Flip challenge was all about, buying these 10. And so this was to my door. These came from China, went to New York, from New York to Charleston, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina to Greensboro, North Carolina, Greensboro, North Carolina. So basically, of course, from Charleston to Greensboro, 18-wheeler truck. From Greensboro to my house, also an 18-wheeler truck. I try to put in I don't know if I have a video of them coming to my house. But yeah, it was about 12. I think they're about roughly a little over 100 pounds each. So I think it's like 1,200 pounds. And the truck driver was worried that she would not be able to unload them. But after I gave her a little tip, I was able to get her to back up the 18-wheeler up my driveway, and I helped her unload it. But a little tip goes a long way. So there we go, guys. If any of you guys, you smart guys from the Ty Genre, because I know everybody in the Ty Genre is smart and they're millionaires and they bought Bitcoin at like $500 a coin. So I know you guys are really smart. I need tips. Come up with some ideas. Leave me some ideas in the comments. All these smart people like Go Hard Brother, Viking Prepper, Dime, Samting1. Who else comments on my I don't know. All these smart guys. I need help. I need tips. How do you get these in a restaurant? So I already got one, and that was a brand new restaurant, which I think is that's the ticket to get in the door for me. But then I'll tell you, I'm going to deploy. I've got an idea on how to get these in restaurants. So this one's got my spare parts. So that's it, guys. We're going to be in the claw machine game. Got to get these 10 on location. I'm going to start a new challenge. That's not really involved. Kind of involving these claw machines, but not really. This is more of just kind of like a hobby. This is like a fun. This is the type of challenge you do when like you don't have obligations, you don't have kids, and you got money sitting in the bank account, and you just like, and you get bored with life. This is what you do in America as a middle-aged man. You go on stupid rabbit holes like this. So how much does these make? I'll give you an idea, guys. The average location, average my people say like I had $200 profit. So each location makes $200. So like hypothetically, I'd be making $2,000 cash, $24,000 a year, if I could get all 10, or in the case of those used ones in the back, maybe more. But you'd be making $2,000 a month cash, which is not a lot of money, but cash is better than taxed money, right? So and here's the cool thing is like I the first time I realized is like I was watching my nephews play football, and my brother's asking me about them, and I'm like, yeah, Saturday, I'm sure people's playing it. So like, you don't have to service these things, but it depends on the location. Of course, the more it's played, the more you're gonna make, right? But the essentially, it's pretty cool in that you only have to go by like once a week, maybe once every other week. It depends on the location, how much money it's making. But it almost scales in the sense that if it's a slow location, just go every 2 weeks. If it's a location that's getting played a lot, then you go every week. But the way you can look at it is like, hey, if I go over there once a week, I'm maybe making $150 every time I go over there. Or I go to the slow location, and maybe I'm only making $100 every 2 weeks. So it's however you want to look at it, but you do got to go out there, check on the machines. Of course, they will eventually break. They're going to be vandalized. That's all part of the game. So that's all for another day. All them stories. I haven't got to that point yet, but I have had one on location now for today's number day 4. So I'm not going to go look at it until maybe like Friday. Or Saturday, maybe, something like that. I don't know, but that's the cool thing about them. Like, hey, once you get them in the location and get them set up, should be relatively low maintenance. So, like, once I get all 10 set up, if they're all doing, say, $200 a month, I mean, that's $2,000. So, roughly, maybe like $60, $70 a day. They're all bringing in combined $60, $70 a day. And if you get better locations, some better locations, I mean, I know some locations, if you get a really good location and maybe 2 or 3 machines in that location. So sometimes you can do play until you win. You can do that and put little cheap toys in there. But you can mix up machines and do different games. and do different toys. So sometimes they'll do like all rubber ducks in one or whatever. So a good location though, you can do $1,000 a month profit. That's a really good location though. So I'm hoping, hopefully you hit on some really good locations, and then, you're going to have the bad locations. But right now, how much is these making? 0. Zilch. So even if it's a slow location right now, go ahead and put them in there, right? And even, here's the way I look at it is, at $600 a piece, even if we're only making $50 within 12 months, once you get on location, within 12 months, you got your money back. So if you're talking $200, if it brings $200 in. Now, here's how it works. I'll explain to you the mechanism. I'm getting long-winded here. Here's how standard works, okay? You pay the restaurant owner 30% of the money. And you can bump it up. Like if it's a better location, you can say 40, 50. Once that money goes in there and I got to pay out to them, all that can get worked out, if you know what I mean. But, standard is 30%, okay? And so, for example, machine brings in $200 in a month, they get $60, okay? So at that rate, they're going to get paid out $700 for having the machine. They're very energy efficient. They don't take up a lot of room. You'd think they would, take up a lot of power. It's all LED, so they don't take up a lot of power. Only when it's playing. So, yeah. Well, that's basically the mechanisms on how it works. So, roughly, my estimate on how I'm going to pay out and everything, I think it's going to be roughly a 50% profit. And so I'm looking at it like if a machine brings in 200 in a month, I'm making $100 profit, because you're gonna have 200, then 30%. So I'm gonna be paying, let's just say 100 for easy numbers. 100 goes in the machine, 30 goes to the restaurant owner. Then they're gonna be winning, so that inventory is coming out. I'll show you here in a second the inventory. The inventory is coming out of your pocket. And so it ends up being like 50%, because they don't win every time you play. So it's $1 in, but they might have to play 5 or 6 times before they win. And then the prize is only going to be a 50-cent prize, or a $1 prize, 80-cent prize. So I'm looking at like every dollar that goes in there, I'm going to pull a 50% profit. I'm pulling 50% profit every time. So if a machine brings in 200, I'm making 100. If it brings in 600, I'm making 300. So the way I'm looking at it is, if a $200 a month, I'm making 100. So these machines, not counting maintenance, is going to be a 6-month break even at a 200 month. If I do, if they're doing 400, within 3 months you're break even. So your break even is very quick on these. Definitely, once you get them placed, you're going to get your money back quick. The hardest challenge is the marketing and getting them placed. And I got to figure out that. That's the challenge. Once you get that in, then the money's going to come in. It's just a guarantee. But all right, guys, I'll show you the inventory next. All right, guys, so what the heck am I going to put in these machines? I'm going to put stuff like this, watches, and so I'm buying like all kinds of different watches, plus toys. You can see the different stuff. You can tell it's all a mixture. And so I'll tell you real quick, the best thing to do if you're buying from China, buying from like Alibaba, then you need a freight forwarder. You get these factories. Factories will sell you smaller amounts if you're in China, but if you're in America, they might ship you quantities, small quantities, but the shipping breaks you. Like, you just can't do it. So what you have to do is get a freight forwarder in China, and then they'll mail you boxes for $5-10. Literally, I don't think I've had anybody charge me more than $10, and I'm sure they're still making money on me on that. Probably don't cost them anything to mail these packages. And so there it is. And so the freight forwarder, what they do, I get a bunch of small orders to get different quantities of stuff. I want different variations. You want to keep stuff new in the machines. That way people are going to play for new stuff. And so at the end of the day, you just want to mix stuff up all the time. Mix stuff up. And what the freight forwarders do is they just, like last time they sent it via FedEx, didn't take long, a week or two. It's probably like 60, 80 kilos. And I think they charge like $1.50 a kilo, and they're still making money off me. But they'll take orders from, say, like last time, it was like 4 to 6 different manufacturers. They all send them stuff. It all goes to the shipper. The shipper will even basically combine the orders. So, for example, they may send, I'll give you an example. They sent all this in one box, but it had enough room, like you could mash it down, and then they put that big watch box inside of there. You can do stuff like that saves room. And then they combine your shipping as economically as possible. And then, they'll say, okay, Luke, you got 60, I'm just giving you an example. I can't remember what the rate was example, but 60 kilograms. It's going to be $1.50 a kilogram. So you're going to pay us $90. And we're going to ship it to you for $90. You're going to get all of this. And so it saves you from having to buy big quantities from the factory. So that's a good tip. If anybody's wanting to dabble around and buying crap from Isle Bobby. So that's what we're going to have in the machines. I got more coming. Now we'll show you what's next.